Welcome to week 10. It's double digits. I know that doesn't really mean anything, but I'm looking for reasons to be happy. Smile! Hey everybody, welcome to week 10. We've come quite a long ways. We got a lot of stuff to do this week. First off, I wanted to get some basic notices out of the way. We had Conference 1 deadline last week on Wednesday. Well, the Conference 2 deadline is coming up in about a month. It's going to be on Monday, April 19th. That is also the deadline for revisions and late work. So everything needs to be caught up and working by that point in time. When it gets to after that, I want to really be able to focus on the last assignment for the class and get everything graded back to you and get it to you as soon as possible. Speaking of grading, I got all of the grading caught up as of Thursday, I think it was. So you should go back to my grades and double check everything. Make sure you're not missing any assignments. Make sure there's nothing you don't need to tweak. If there is, please get that in as soon as you can. Because as I said, you got a month coming up and it's not like you're going to be any less busy when we hit week 13. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I got a few, I'm not singling anyone out because this is about 5 or 6 different people, ended up sending me messages last week where they were asking things like, I don't know what this research abstracts assignment is, or I never know when the homework is due. When I went over your progress report, similarly, I saw a lot of people suggesting stuff that I'm doing already in the class. There should really be a document that goes over document design. Well, there was. Someone said that I should really have a document which said when work was due. Major assignment sheet, anybody? Look, I know this isn't a normal semester, and I know that things are whoo-hoo in a whole lot of ways. Trust me, it's been over a year that I've been locked in this basement, and I really don't get to see people. My mind isn't functioning the way it should. I know this, you know this. Now, that's not an excuse for not looking at the course documents. I mean, I had a lot of people, I don't know what goes into a research abstract, which immediately tells me you might not have looked at the research abstract assignment video because I expelled it out all in a lot of depth. Similarly, I had a few people on the progress report saying, we really need to make sure we're going over the assignments. I'm like, haven't we had sample assignments or group work versions of the assignments every single time? And it's not like the research abstract should be all that much of a shock because we did corporate ideology and you got to see my entire process all the way through. But then again, when I went to grade the infographics, I was amazed at how many people did not convey information via graphics. Look, as I said, I know it's a rough semester. I know that in the best of times, by this point in the year, people are going a little bit wacky because of the stress and everything else, and I get that. And I don't mean to seem like I'm harping on the few things that bugged me over the course of the week, but these are really easy solutions. Make sure you're reading the book, make sure you're reading the syllabus, make sure you're watching the videos. I've gotten a decent amount of trouble to try to make all this stuff pretty clear if you look at the documents. And I know most other teachers do that too. So do your best to get all that stuff. Because I really want to be able to focus my time and my attention helping on things that need help. If you don't understand an assignment, If you need to bounce ideas off of someone, if you need to go over procedures for doing something, that's the kind of stuff I really want to help you with. I want to help you develop your formal recommendation report because I want everybody to do a good job and to learn a lot. But in the same way with the upcoming assignment, the technical description, I want everybody to be able to do that in good specific depth, and I want to help you do that. If I'm answering stuff that I've already answered, it makes it a little bit harder. I don't blame you, as I said, crazy time of the semester, it's crazy semester altogether, but you should still take precautions to read the stuff and find out where you are. Unfortunately, being in a distance learning class means that almost all of this is on your shoulders. This is just how distance learning goes. I can't be with you every minute of the day. I wish I could. But if I was with you every minute of the day, my cats really wouldn't like me. Anyway, I'm not going to go over the bookwork assignments because one was just, hey, what's on the university webpage? And you should know that. And the other one was play around with your word processor. And you should know that too. I mean, that's an easy enough one to do. I will attach to this week's folder a document that gives a lot of good commands for Word. It's kind of a Word easy user's guide thing. It's been in course documents all along. And I've got one for Google Drive. I've got one for LibreOffice. I don't know if I have one for Pages or not, but they've got to be out there. All these word processors are very robust and can do like 50 million times more stuff than we ever do with them. So it's a matter of really getting in there and playing around with it. I mean, I finally started to work with the built-in styles, on the home menu where they have normal heading 1, heading 2 title. I found that a much easier way to organize stuff. I think you got all that, and I spent a lot of time in corporate ideology going over corporate ideology, so you should be pretty good. If you do have any questions about any of the assignments, if you want to talk to me about it, please do hit me up via Remind. I really am here to help you. Now, in terms of what we got coming up this week, the research abstracts are due on Friday. Also, there's an assignment called the Annotated Bibliography, which is due on Friday. Now, this isn't a big deal. It's one of the few group work things I have you do. Basically, if you're doing research in an organization, they're going to want some record of that research. Because if someone else has to know something, you don't want to send them off to do all the research on their own if someone's already done it. So people's research tends to get all written down and then combined into a central location. And that's pretty much what the Annotated Bibliography is. Everybody in the group should turn in a draft of the research abstract. You should put it all in one document, alphabetize it, make sure all the formatting is consistent all the way throughout, and have one entry per page. And everybody in the group will turn that in. But that means that everybody in the group will have access to everyone else's research abstracts, which means you can get a quick glimpse at everyone else's sources to see if they're going to be the kind of things that can help you in the formal recommendation report. Really, the reason we do research in this class is the same reason you do research in an organization. It's designed to codify information and facilitate the spread of information. And the research that's one of the reasons I have you all in groups with the same kind of focus, because the annotated bibliography means you get to share each other's research to a certain degree. In terms of the nitpicky stuff, the work you have to do, we've got 2 chapters to read, Chapter 11 and Chapter 13. On Chapter 11, you'll do Exercise 3. On Chapter 13, you'll do Exercise 2. I had a number of people in the progress report say that they thought of this as busy work. Well, there's a couple elements here. One, it's a chance for you to practice the kind of things that you read about. I mean, if you just read the chapter, it's going to go right out your eardrums, out of your brain. This is a way to make sure you apply some of that. And secondly, it's a way for me to know that you actually read the chapter, because it's either really doing that or quizzes. And I think you'll all agree this is better than a quiz. For group work, we have sorry about that. I had a battery die on me. Where were we? Oh yeah, we have editing assignments 1 and 2. And you just need to make the language work. And do this as a group so everybody can bounce ideas off of each other. Get the language as smooth and as clear and as concise and as direct as possible. We've got 3 videos today. One, technical description, where I go over the assignment, which hopefully you've read already, and I give some examples, and we work through some of the pluses and the minuses, what makes a good technical description, what makes a one. I've got a video on logical fallacies, because thinking about how people make arguments is going to be something that you need to think about when you're doing research abstracts. And hopefully this video can help you start to spot where people's logic goes wrong. It's also important to understand a little bit of logic, because if you're dealing with a population at large, if you get to do anything that relates to the general public, knowing how they think might be a good idea. And knowing how they misthink could be an even better idea, because it's going to allow you to correct bad assumptions, to work with people who have faulty information and get them on the right path. I've also got a video on grammar. Now, don't panic on this one, because I'm not going to turn this into grammar police or anything, but it talks about why talking about grammar is necessary, and we hit just a few of the bigger things. And that's what we got going for the double-digit week, week 10. We're piling along here. After this, we've got 5 more weeks. I have faith in everybody. I hope you have a good week. It's supposed to be really nice out there this week, so try to get outside and enjoy the fresh air. Anyway, see you next week. Have a good time.